Mint. The overachiever of the herb world. It's in your toothpaste, your chewing gum, your after-dinner candy, your herbal tea, your face wash, and somehow also your fancy cocktail. For thousands of years, humans across every culture have treated this little green leaf like nature's all-purpose fix-it. Bad breath? Mint. Upset tummy? Mint. Need to look like you have your life together at a dinner party? Also mint. And honestly, for most people, most of the time, it earns that reputation. But here's the thing nobody puts on the tea box. Mint has a secret life. A shadowy side that science has been quietly uncovering for decades. A side that can betray your stomach, mess with your hormones, hijack your medications, and, in some truly wild cases, become genuinely dangerous. So today, we're flipping the herb garden upside down and asking the question nobody thinks to ask. What is mint actually doing to your body? Let's start with the most spectacular backstab in herbal history. For centuries, mint has been sold to us as the digestive herb. Stomach hurting? Mint tea. Bloated like a balloon animal? Mint leaves. Feel like your insides are staging a protest? Mint, obviously. And fine, for a lot of people, it genuinely helps. We're not here to cancel mint entirely. But here's where the plot thickens and your stomach drops, sometimes literally. Menthol, the primary active compound in mint, is a powerful relaxant for smooth muscle tissue throughout the gastrointestinal tract. That sounds great, right? Relaxation. Peace. Harmony. Except there is one muscle in your body that you absolutely do not want chilling out without permission. Peppermint relaxes the sphincter muscles that connect your esophagus to your stomach, allowing stomach acid and other contents to flow back up, triggering heartburn and other symptoms of acid reflux. Picture it. There's a tiny little trapdoor between your stomach and your esophagus. Its entire job, its one purpose in life, is to stay shut and keep the acid downstairs where it belongs. Mint walks in, says, "Hey, relax," and that trapdoor swings wide open. Acid party upstairs. This can worsen reflux symptoms in people with hiatal hernia and gastroesophageal reflux disease. So if you've been popping mints after dinner and wondering why your chest feels like a small campfire, congratulations, you've just solved the mystery. The mint was the villain the whole time. Have you ever made your heartburn worse with mint without realizing it? Drop a comment below. You are almost certainly not alone in this. Now here's where mint goes from cheeky troublemaker to something genuinely sneaky. Most people think of mint as a food. A flavoring. Totally innocent. What they don't realize is that when you start consuming it in concentrated forms, strong teas, extracts, supplements, it starts behaving more like a drug. And drugs interact with other drugs. Peppermint oil has been shown to inhibit cytochrome P450 enzymes. Now stay with us here because this matters. Those enzymes are your liver's processing factory. Every medication you swallow gets routed through that factory to be broken down at exactly the right speed. Block those enzymes, and suddenly your medications aren't being processed normally. They can build up higher than intended in your bloodstream, or in other cases, get cleared out before they've had a chance to work. Mint supplements or extracts may interact with medications for acid reflux, diabetes, or blood thinners. Think about that for a second. You're doing everything right, taking your prescribed medications every day, and your daily habit of strong mint tea is quietly sabotaging the whole operation in the background. No alarm bells. No warning label on the tea box. Just your liver quietly having a very bad time. It's the pharmaceutical equivalent of your helpful colleague secretly forwarding all your emails to the wrong folder. But now we need to talk about the darkest chapter in Mint's story. And this one is not funny at all, it's a genuine warning. There is a plant in the mint family called pennyroyal. It looks like mint. It smells powerfully like spearmint. And for centuries, people have brewed it as a home remedy, the same way they'd brew any herbal tea. The problem? Pennyroyal oil contains pulgone, which is highly toxic, particularly to the liver, and its use has resulted in severe illness, liver failure, and death. This isn't ancient history. In 1996, 2 California infants died after being given mint tea, where the mint turned out to be pennyroyal. These were families using what they believed was a gentle herbal remedy, a homegrown plant that looked and smelled like ordinary mint. One infant developed fulminant liver failure with cerebral edema and necrosis and died. Medical literature documents at least 24 cases of pennyroyal toxicity, including liver and kidney failure, seizures, brain swelling, and death. This is the hardest lesson in the entire herb garden. Natural does not mean safe. Looks like mint does not mean it is mint. And if you grow your own herbs or forage from your garden, the ability to confidently identify what you're working with is not optional, it's genuinely life or death. Alright. Now for the segment that is going to make a specific group of viewers very uncomfortable. Men, this one's for you. Pull up a chair.
What is actually in this tea?
Studies have shown that spearmint tea can significantly reduce testosterone levels, particularly in research involving women with polycystic ovary syndrome. In men, some evidence suggests that high consumption of mint may lead to decreased testosterone production. Yes. Your beloved after-workout mint tea might be having a quiet word with your hormones. In controlled studies, rats given mint tea for 25 days showed significantly decreased blood testosterone levels compared to the control group. And when researchers pushed the doses higher in other studies, spearmint extract was found to reduce testosterone, lower libido, and alter reproductive hormones. Now before everyone pours their mint tea down the drain in a panic, 2 cups a day of regular mint tea is probably not going to rewire your entire endocrine system. The research is still evolving, and the effects are dose-dependent. But men who are drinking multiple strong cups a day, or using concentrated mint supplements regularly, may want to raise an eyebrow at their habit. Your mint habit is probably fine. Your, I brew a pot of concentrated spearmint every single morning because it's healthy, habit deserves a second look. Here's one that catches people completely off guard. Mint allergies. We tend to think of mint as so universally friendly that the idea of being allergic to it sounds almost absurd, like being allergic to fresh air. But they are real, they are more common than most people realize, and they can get serious fast. Individuals with allergies to menthol or plants in the Lamiaceae family may be at high risk of developing respiratory problems or allergic dermatitis. We're talking skin rashes, throat tightening, and breathing difficulty. In people who are allergic to mint, contact with the herb can trigger asthma symptoms, and such individuals should avoid it completely. The maddening part. Mint allergy often hides in plain sight for years. People assume they have seasonal allergies, or sensitive skin, or just a weird thing with certain foods, never connecting it to the mint they've been chewing, sipping, and brushing with every single day. And because mint is tucked inside so many everyday products, gum, mouthwash, candies, teas, supplements, lip balms, even some medications, figuring out how to actually eliminate it once you do discover the allergy becomes a label-reading Olympic sport. Finally, a word for anyone who is pregnant or thinking about becoming pregnant. This one deserves real attention. Menthol can relax muscles, including the uterus, potentially leading to complications such as premature contractions. Mint's impact on hormone levels during pregnancy is not well studied, raising caution about its use. A few fresh leaves in your water? Almost certainly fine. A strong concentrated mint supplement every morning? That's a very different conversation to have with your doctor. Mint is flagged as contraindicated with liver damage and requires caution during breastfeeding and lactation. The gap between a culinary garnish and a therapeutic dose is where the risk lives, and during pregnancy, that gap matters more than ever. So here's the truth about mint, said plainly. It's not a villain. For most people, in normal everyday amounts, it's genuinely useful and pleasant and everything your grandmother always told you it was. The problem was never mint itself. The problem is the unquestioned trust we extend to it, the assumption that because something is natural and ancient and smells amazing, it must be harmless at any dose, in any form, for any person. Science tells a more interesting story. For people with acid reflux, mint can be the sneaky arsonist in a situation that already has too much fire. For people on daily medications, concentrated mint could be silently interfering with treatments they depend on. For men with heavy mint habits, there may be a quiet hormonal conversation happening without their knowledge. For pregnant women, the form and dose of mint genuinely matters. And for anyone who grows or forages their own herbs, the ability to identify what's actually in your cup could, without exaggeration, save a life. The most dangerous things are rarely the ones that look dangerous. Sometimes they're the ones sitting quietly in your kitchen, smelling absolutely wonderful, and wearing the world's most trustworthy disguise. If this made you look at your mint tea a little differently, good. Share it with someone who reaches for mint like it's a guaranteed cure-all. They deserve the full story too.